chemical formula for table sugar? So a chemistry question. Is it C12H22O11 or B, NaCl? Letter C, C2H4O2, or D, HCl, or the hydrochloric acid? So later on, we will reveal the proper pronunciation or the proper um the proper naming of these chemical formula. So most of you answered. Ooh, we have different answers. Some of you answered A. We have B as well, and for letters again, table sugar. So this is the common sugar that we are using when we are cooking or when we are um about to create our own coffee. So for 28, the correct answer here is it's letter A. So that's for the chemical formula for the table sugar. So the table sugar is actually the sucrose. So when we talk about sucrose, guys, it's an example of a carbohydrate. And then the building block of carbohydrate is monosaccharide. So examples of monosaccharides are glucose and fructose. And if we are to combine these two, we will create the disaccharide sucrose, which is, in a more common or in layman's term, we call it the table sugar. Now, can you guess the common name for NaCl or the sodium chloride? If sucrose is table sugar, sodium chloride is the chemical name of, very good, Ma'am Carla, that is table salt, the usual salt that we are using as a condiment or as a additive when we are cooking. Next, we have this one, the acetic acid. What is the common name for acetic acid? So for acetic acid, guys, this is, anyone who can guess the correct answer? Okay, so for acetic acid, guys, please take note that it is the vinegar. So it's actually an example of weak acid. So when we talk about acid, it is where the pH below 7. Next, for hydrogen chloride, what is the common name for this acid? It's once again an example of an acid. Any guesses? We usually use this as a cleaning agent for our bathrooms or for our kitchen. Very good, Mom Jessica. We have the muriatic acid. So these are the common names for the substances that we usually use in our kitchen for everyday uses. So we have table sugar for sucrose, table salt for sodium chloride, vinegar for acetic acid, and muriatic acid for hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid. Next, 29. What speeds up a chemical reaction? Is it A, catalysts, B, virus, C, products, or D, reactants? Sir Marvin answered letter A. How about the others? Again, we're talking about chemical reaction, the one speeding it up, or its rate. We have, so the correct answer, very good, guys. It's letter A. It's catalysts. So if we are to talk about chemical reaction, let's have this image, for example. So in the chemical reaction, we have different components. Now, before we talk about the catalyst, let's first identify the reactant and then the product side of this chemical reaction. So for the reactant side, can you please type in the reactants used in this chemical reaction? Please type in your answer in the chat box if you know the answer. So we have in here the reactant side, which is actually in the left portion of the chemical reaction. So the reactants are these are the carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Next, of course, the product side or the products will be the methane and water. So we have identified the product side and then the reactant side. Now, the states of matter. It's important for you to include this for you to know if there will be changes in their state or the phase change that we call. And in this chemical reaction that we've used, all of the substances are in gaseous state. So we have in here the parenthesis G, which denotes that the substance is in the gas state. We also have other representation in here. We have the parenthesis S and then a parenthesis L, solid and liquid respectively. Now, for the other component, we have yields 2. Yields 2 will be represented or is represented by the arrow with, this arrow. So please take note of the arrow headed here because it will help you to identify which is the reactant and which is the product. And lastly, we have the one being asked a while ago, we have the catalyst. So the catalyst is usually placed in or above the arrow symbol. So in this particular chemical reaction, they've used nickel as the catalyst. So in other chemical reaction, we can spot on here the presence of a triangle symbol. So that is denoting the presence or the application of heat to speed up the chemical reaction. So again, catalyst speeding up the chemical reaction. So I hope that's clear with you guys. Now let's proceed to the last item for this section of our discussion. So we have question number 30. What is the element symbol for gold? Okay, so you already type in your answer in here. So all of you answered letter B. Are you sure, guys? Again, we're looking for the element symbol for gold. Final answer? So the answers are okay. So all of you answered letter B. Very good. At least pinanindigan yung letter B. So we have it's AU. So if we are to review our knowledge with the periodic table of elements, we have actually 118 known elements as of now. So the latest addition is the OG, which is the oganesson. So for if you are going to look into the elements present in the periodic table, most of them are actually derived from the first and second letters of their name. But there are exceptions when it comes to other elements such as gold, wherein the symbol is actually derived from their Latin name. Just like for gold, the Latin name for gold is aurum. So we have the presence of element symbol AU. Similar to silver, the element symbol for silver is Ag, which means argentum in Latin. So for gold, guys, just remember, the most prominent users of gold way back in history are the ancient Egyptians. Primarily in their quest for the alchemy or in their quest for the elixir of life. So they actually strive and struggle to create gold from cheap metals like copper, and tin. So for this one, the gold is actually considered to be one of the best conductor of heat and electricity. So it's ranking at third. So the best conductor of the first best conductor of heat and electricity is the silver, followed by copper. But we know silver and gold are actually considered to be expensive metals. So we employ copper for our electrical wirings. And aside from that, we use gold for jewelries or for decorations and ornaments, just like in the medals presented in the recent Paris 2024 Olympics. So we have the gold. So once again, that's the end of our first part, the first 30 items of our discussion for science and technology. Yay! Thank you so much for being with us guys with the discussion of science and technology. But before we jump into the next section of our today's session, let me just inform you guys that we have our study group in Facebook. So it's a private group and you can be part of it. So you will have your additional support system when you are in your Let Review journey. So I highly encourage you guys to be part of this study group because it will definitely help you, specifically if you have queries or clarifications. It will be best if you will brainstorm with other reviewers as well. So that's all. Leap to greatness. So on the next section of our discussion, guys, we will have drills. So yes, actually having drills is important because it will increase your memorization and of course the mastery of the content. Because we all know that for general education, future LPTs, general education, you will have 25% of getting the correct answer because there is a specific question. There's no doubt to it. For example, you encounter a particular question in your exam, and if you don't know the answer, patay na. So for this one, it's very important for you to make use of drills for better memory retention. So let's have a short drill with regards to the things that you need to master in general science. So I hope you guys are ready. Please tap the reaction button or the heart react in your screen if you are now ready for our first question. Okay, so hindi ko siya makita, but I do hope that you guys are ready. So let's proceed with the first item. Can you name the 3 elements of combustion? So combustion is the chemical reaction of fire. It's the process of burning something. So what do you think are the 3 elements of combustion? If you know the answer, or if you have hints or guesses, you can type in your answer in the comment box. I guess. Yes, Sir Marvin, one of these. Very good. It's actually heat. And then what are the other 2 elements? So, very good. Very good, Sir Marvin, Ma'am Rovi Jane, and Ma'am Mary Lewis. You've actually named it. So we have the fuel, oxygen, and heat. So let's talk about these 3. So for heat, guys, just remember that it is the ignition source of the of the combustion. So for example, we have the occurrence of a wildfire or forest fire or a grass fire. So an example of heat being used in there is source of heat is the lightning. So that's an example of heat. Next, we have the fuel. So when we talk about fuel, it is the material that is needed to contain, that is needed to be burned. So in the occurrence of a grass fire or forest fire, of course, we have the dry grasses or the dry plants in the area. So these materials will sustain the combustion process. And lastly, we have, of course, the presence of oxygen, because if there will be no oxygen in the area, the fire will not proliferate or the fire will not be sustained. So again, we have FOH. We have fuel, oxygen, and heat. Next, what do you think is the hottest planet in the solar system? So the hottest planet, very good. Very good, future LPTs. We have the Venus. Buti walang nagsagot ng Mercury. So the hottest planet, although it's the second closest planet in the solar, the second closest planet to the sun, it is considered to be the hottest planet because of the enormous greenhouse effect in this planet. So mostly the atmosphere of Venus is made of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, which is, of course, it will trap heat and the heat will remain on the surface instead of it being reflected back into the atmosphere. Now, let's talk about the other planets, the important things that you need to remember about them. So Mercury, please take note, it is the closest and it has the fastest revolution. So again, revolution, it is the complete trip of a body or a planet around the sun. So Mercury takes around 88 Earth days to complete one revolution. And it is the closest planet to the sun. Next, we have, so again, in the arrangement, following is Venus, which we've finished discussing about a while ago. So we move on to the planet Earth. Planet Earth is considered to be the blue planet, the only planet in the solar system not named after a god. So the name Earth was actually from a German roots, so which means rock. And Earth is it is very distinct because it is the only planet in the solar system that is so far known to sustain life forms or organisms. Next, we have the planet Mars. It is considered to be the Earth's twin sister. And so far, we actually have several expeditions to explore Mars if it is viable or it can sustain life. So please take note, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are also collectively called as the terrestrial planets. Now, we have the Jupiter. So from this planet going up to Uranus and Neptune, these are called the Jovian planets or the gas giants. So Jupiter is considered to be the biggest planet in the solar system with the biggest moon as well. So the biggest moon in the solar system is the moon Ganymede. Next planet, we have planet Saturn. Saturn is the planet which has the most number of rings. So it's not Jupiter, but it is Saturn. Next, we have planet Uranus. Planet Uranus together with planet Venus is in retrograde motion. So meaning to say, um, their movement is actually not the same with the rest of the planet, and it is considered to be the coldest planet, although the most distant planet in the solar system is the Neptune. So please take note about Neptune. It is the only planet in the solar system that is not visible to the naked eye because of its distance from our planet and of course from the sun as well. So I hope you will be able to familiarize these things. So that's for the planets of our solar system. Again, Pluto is considered to be a dwarf planet. So it's not an official planet in the solar system. Next, a phenomenon where moon is in between the sun and Earth. Again, the moon is in between sun and Earth. What do you think is this phenomenon? Will it be solar or a lunar eclipse? So according to Sir Emmanuel, we have lunar. To Sir Marvin and Mom Queenie, we have solar. So let's check. So if a moon is in between the sun and Earth, it is the solar eclipse. So the solar eclipse, we have in here the positioning of these three heavenly bodies, SME. So for you to not confuse it with the lunar eclipse, just remember the mnemonics LU-SEM for lunar eclipse and SOSME for solar eclipse. Next, gorilla, orangutan, and chimpanzee are all examples of what? I do hope that you still remember the answer to this question. Very good. So the correct answer here is primates, which is a taxon in the hierarchy of classification. So that's the primates. And together with these three, we have the human beings and the monkeys. So that's the correct answer, primates. Next, what are the 5 layers of the atmosphere? Five layers of the atmosphere. Very good, Mom Queenie. We have, in proper arrangement, although we have the troposphere, the stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and the exosphere. Now, let's talk about them in the simplest terms. So for the troposphere, you just have to remember that it is where almost weather conditions occur. So it's when we talk about weather, it's the day-to-day changes when it comes to our when it comes to the atmospheric condition. Next, we have the stratosphere. It is where the ozone layer is located. Again, ozone layer is very important for the absorption of the UVB portion of the solar radiation. Next, we have mesosphere. Mesosphere, from the word itself, meso, it's the middlemost layer of the atmosphere. Following, we have the thermosphere. It is considered to be the hottest layer because it is where most solar radiation are absorbed. And in the thermosphere class, we have the presence of the ionosphere. When we talk about ionosphere, it is where aurora borealis and australis are occurring. So in the ionosphere, from the term itself, we have lots of ions or charged particles here in the form of plasma. And Last layer, we have the exosphere, the one that is extending until the outer space. So that's the order of the layers of the atmosphere from the um, bottom layer going into the last layer, which is the exosphere. So thank you, Ma'am Queenie. Next, let's move on to the layers of the earth. So we finished discussing it a while ago. I hope that you can name it already, as well as their specific or distinct function or characteristic. So for the layers of earth, very good. So we have the crust, the mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. So again, which layer of the earth is in solid state? I mean, which part of the core specific is in solid state? Very good. It's the inner core. Yes. But crust is of course in solid because we have in here the this is the outermost layer of the earth, and we can consider the land as solid in state. So again, just a short review: crust, the outermost and the visible layer of the earth. Next, we have the mantle, which holds the most volume and the thickest layer. Outer core is liquid, the source of the magnetic field of the planet. And lastly, we have the inner core, which is solid in state. So that's the layers of the Earth. Earth, when it is closest to the sun. So it's the proximity of the Earth to the sun. If it is closest to the sun, what do you think is the term? Is it perihelion or aphelion? Again, we're looking for the closest. So Sir Emmanuel answered aphelion, but the correct answer here is it's perihelion. So when it comes to the position, I mean the distance of the sun and earth, we have the perihelion if it is closest to each other. P for palapit. Aphelion if the sun and earth, their positioning is farthest, or if it is in if the farthest point. So letter A, that's for away. So again, that's perihelion and aphelion. Now, if we are to talk about the distance between the moon and earth, if these heavenly bodies are closest to each other, we have the perigee or palapit. And if it is farthest, we have the apogee or away. Again, helion, helio, that's sun. And then so that you cannot confuse the two terms, helion and g. Apogee, perigee, perihelion, and aphelion. I hope that's clear with you guys. Next, what is the mirror used in cars to give the driver a wider area and smaller image of the traffic behind? So Sir Emmanuel once again answered convex. How about the others? So Sir Marvin as well answered convex. Ma'am Ruby Jean answered concave. So the vehicles are actually using convex mirrors. So for convex mirrors, guys, please take note that it is to generate a smaller and wider view of the of area. So aside from the mirrors of the vehicles, we have in here the mirrors present in the convenience stores, like for example, 7-Eleven, where you usually take your mirror shot. So that is that specific mirror is an example of a convex mirror. So it is used to, of course, prevent the occurrence of shoplifting. Next, for concave naman, it is to generate bigger and magnified images. Like for example, for the dentist mirror, so that they will be able to have a zoom in picture of um the, the tooth that they will extract from you. And of course, aside from mirrors, we have in here lenses. So for lenses, guys, please take note. For concave lens, it is used for to treat nearsightedness or myopia. So when you are nearsighted, the distant objects are blurry to you. Just like I have concave lenses to treat my nearsightedness, and the contrast of it is the convex. Sorry for the typo. It's convex, guys. It is to treat farsightedness or hyperopia. So, pag farsighted, of course, mas malinaw sa'yo yung mga distant objects, and blurry yung mga nasa harapan. So that's for mirrors and the most visible color in the rainbow. I hope you know the acronym for the colors present in the rainbow. So what do you think is the most visible color? Any guess? So we have a lot of colors, but what are the colors present in a rainbow? Any wild guess? So Sir Marvin answered yellow. How about the others? Si Ma'am Ruby Jane, red, pero hindi siya sure. Sir Val answered purple. May purple pa sa rainbow. Paisip ako bigla. So, yeah. So let's reveal the answer. Actually, the most visible color in the rainbow is red. So that's according to physics. So if you are to talk about rainbow, which is actually part of the visible light spectrum, part of the electromagnetic spectrum, we have the acronym Roy-G-Biv. So Roy-G-Biv, of course, first and foremost, we have the red color. Please take note, guys, it is the color having the longest wavelength but lowest frequency. That is the reason why the most visible band in the rainbow is the red color. So in terms of the relationship between wavelength and frequency, it is inverse. Meaning to say, if the wavelength is bigger or longest, it will have lower frequency. So at the end of the end portion, the other end portion of the rainbow is the color violet, which is shortest wavelength but the highest frequency. So again, the arrangement is this. We have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So, okay lang. Medyo nag-loading din ako sa purple. Minsan kasi napagpapalit ang purple and violet and then indigo. Those are actually shades of violet, I think. So, that's for our rainbow. Next, now let's talk about the branches and fields of science. So for number 1, it is the study of plants. So again, we have different branches or fields in science because science is a broad subject. So we have actually scientists will need to focus in one specialization for efficiency. So if a particular person is focusing in the study of plants, he or she is actually in the field of what? What do you think? Do you have any guess? Very good po. That is botany. So that's for plants. How about for animals? We have zoology, very good. And for fungi, so for the study of fungi, guys, it is the field of mycology. So mycofungi. Next, we have for algae, we have the phycology. Again, myco for fungi, phyco for algae. Now, what branch of science deals with the study of matter, particularly with the properties, chemical reactions, and structure? Will it be physics or chemistry? Very good. It is chemistry. Kasi for physics, it's actually the study of everything, the natural phenomena that we are experiencing. So hindi lang siya box study ng matter. So number 6, the study of insects. Any guess for the study of insects? Very good, Ma'am Karen. We have entomology. Ayan, ready na ata kayo. So we have entomology. Next, how about for the study of parasite and hosts? So for number 7, the correct answer here is it's parasitology, the study of parasites and as well as their hosts. Now, how about the study of weather and atmosphere? Sure? Sure ka na sa answer nyo? So for number 8, very good. We have meteorology. So that's for the study of the atmosphere and weather condition. It's not for the study of meteors. Ha? Okay, so meteors can be studied under the branch of astronomy because astronomy covers the objects or heavenly bodies that are present beyond the Earth atmosphere. Now, what do you think is the field of science that deals with the origin of the universe? The past, present, and future of the universe. We have, very good, we have cosmology. And lastly, for the study of cells, biology. Yes, that's the most general that's specific branch. But what do you think the most that's the most inclusive, but yung pinaka-exclusive part niya, it's very good, Sir Marvin. We have cytology. So it focuses on the cell, primarily with the structure and of course the function and properties of the cell. So these are some of the branches that you need to remember for science. So I think that's the end of our discussion for the science and technology and for our second part of the drill. So yes, once again I would like to thank you guys for your time rendered in tonight's session. So please take note that a positive mindset deeply rooted in a goal can never be shaken by ripples of shallow waters. So before we end tonight's session, do you have any clarifications po? I think this will be the last time that we are going to talk about general science. So if you have clarifications pa regarding the specific area in general education, you can type in your queries po. And if you have questions din po with the Leap Review app and then the review center, you feel free to type in the group chat. Ayan, thank you so much din po sa inyo lahat. So may mga questions po ba? Kinakabahan ako pero sige, do you have questions guys? Ayan, thank you Sir Val, none so far. So before we end, kung may mga magtatanong pa po, I would like to ask you this September 2024. So I guess for March and for the September 2025, good thing that you are already attending this kind of free online review kasi it will be part of your preparation. Kasi I believe that the longer your preparation time is, mas magiging ready kayo for the main event. So ako parang nag-review lang ako with one season. I started reviewing. So our class started with June. So I started reviewing by April. So I started actually with the shading. So I do hope that you also consider your shading skill because it will play a vital role in the board examination. So wala po bang question? So once again, guys, if you have access with the Leap Review app, please expedite. You have to make use of it. Use it in your review process kasi it is really, really helpful and para lang siyang yung mga social media platforms na meron tayo, it's very user-friendly. And during the dry run a while ago, when you were using the app, it's actually very user-friendly and you have already the correct answer plus the rationalization. So I'm encouraging you guys to make use of it and of course to avail the programs that we offer here in Leap Review Center. Primarily, we have a lot of discounts stored for you.